The following is a Journey into Comics Network production.
Good luck.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Game Addicts podcast, the show where we talk about the modern and retro video games we play and collect. I'm your host, Brando, and joining me here today is this podcast player 2, Mike. I just completely jumbled. This podcast player 2, Mike.
Hi.
How's it going?
Are you all right?
Yeah, no, my tongue kind of went like blah, 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 blah.
Fair enough.
Right there. So, yeah, this is the Game Addicts podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, of course, you can go to GameAddictsPodcast.com. Check out all of our episodes there. Of course, we're on podcast services around the globe, including iTunes, Podbean, Spotify, a couple others, Stitcher, that kind of stuff. And we're also on YouTube and on Twitch.tv if you want to check out the video of us just sitting here looking at each other talking. Some people do, man. Some people want to see
Gazing at each other longingly.
We do.
Every
Of
once
course,
in a while.
whenever we do have pickups, whenever we're doing collection episodes, when we're doing that kind of stuff, we bring everything that we have here to show. So it's like kind of like a show and tell type thing. But of course, if you want to take us with you on your smart device of your choice and listen to us in the car, that's available to you as well. So we welcome all of you guys if this is your first time. If it is not, of course, we always start off our episodes with pickups.
Yes.
And Mike has one pickup. I have none. I did buy some records, but they're not here. I'm going to talk about that. But let's talk about you got a controller.
Yeah, I just got a new controller.
This is a red PS4 controller.
It's the new version.
The newer version. It looks really nice. I really like.
It's pretty slick.
I'm normally like a blue dude. I really like the blue controllers. My favorite color and shade of blue that they've done was the PS3.
Yeah.
That's my baby. I love that when I play the PS3.
So for this, I was torn between the red, and they have a gunmetal gray now.
Oh yeah.
It looks sharp. John is like, that's pretty sharp. And I was like,
is.
yeah, but I need a red controller.
If I get another PS4 controller, I would love that if they would make more of the PS1 anniversary controller.
Oh, yeah.
With the old gray, the old sort of like colored PS logo on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the one I'm wearing.
Yeah.
Repping the old school PlayStation.
But, I mean, it's just another controller, which, unfortunately, I've only put, like, an hour on. And today, afterwards, we will go buy a new television. So, about that. So, I was complaining about the PS4. So, I'm not 100% sure if it is the PS4. Because the TV completely shut off all input. So, it turns on. And this TV, so we bought it about a year, let's say a year and 7 months ago, somewhere around in there. We were trying to figure out. And within 6 months, I had to change the whole board. They came and fixed it, and I haven't had any issues, at least I thought. Now, when I turn on the PS4, actually, you were here. I had it on. I was watching the new Nintendo Direct so that I could get a nice refresher and know what's going on. And the TV was on, and it just cut all inputs. And now it shows no display. It turns on. You can see the color change.
Yeah, from when
it'll
off.
turn. Yeah,
it gives you that kind of off black. Or,
the lit black.
Yeah,
it's not pure black. It's lit black, and it just. Yeah, so that was like my disappointing thing today.
Yeah, no, man, I kind of had to kind of perk you up a little bit to do the show. You were a little down.
Yeah, it's upsetting, but in the sense I can go buy another TV and
we can go look at some toys.
So it gives us an excuse to go look at some toys. But so all my rants about the PS4 Pro, I might have to rescind all those.
Eat some crow.
Yeah, I'm sorry, PlayStation. I mean, it does overheat. I do know that it has overheated before and shut off or froze. So,
but you had it on the kind of.
I had it in a cubby that has no. So, as we sit here in YouTube, you can see me looking at my station here. It's pretty much enclosed. There's very little air, and
it's not tight.
Right.
Probably about like 5 or 6 inches where you
not
could put
even that.
Well, it's like
in the back. There's probably like a half an inch between the back wall.
But like. It's not like it's not like this. It's more like this. But granted, when you're running something like a system like that needs a little bit more airflow, I've noticed you have a fan that you can point at it now. It's sitting on top of your whole
yeah,
setup.
I reset up my whole setup, and it was still in the cubby hole, but what I did is I had a USB fan plugged in, and that would blow all the hot air out just to keep it cool, and it worked fine. And now I still have the fan on it because even when it's in rest mode, I no longer can just put it in rest mode. If it's in rest mode, it still runs. Like, it's still running at full graphics, full everything.
It's crazy.
Like, the other day, I came in here and I touched it, and it was
warm.
Not warm. It was hot. So, from now on, like, now that I have it unplugged because of recent events, I normally leave the fan on and keep the PS4 off for at least an hour because I don't want to burn up my unit. It's a $400 unit.
Right.
And I don't want to go buy another unit, which I've already had to do.
I was actually okay. So I'm having PS4 problems.
Right.
Mine's a launch model.
Right.
I didn't get a Slim. I haven't got a Pro. Mine's just the old launch model. So I mean, we're approaching about 5 years. This fall I'll have that unit for 5 years, which I really haven't done that with a system before. With a launch, I had a launch era-ish PS3, which I got that in 2007. And replaced it in 2010.
Right.
With a Slim. And my Xbox 360, I got that, and I actually just got a reminder on one of those like Time Hop or this many years ago, like kind of thing happened, and I made a post. It was an email. I got an email because when I got my first 360, that's when I got my first credit card, and it's a Best Buy card.
Right.
And like I had that card for years. Like, because here's the thing, fellas, girls, whichever, if you have an SO and you like, I'm going to go buy me something really expensive. Sometimes they want something really expensive too.
Yes.
Now, that day I wanted to go out and I wanted to buy an Xbox 360. Because I had Mass Effect. I had that game. Rob's system, which was a launch system that he got from his cousin, it died, and I'm pretty sure I killed it because of my long Mass Effect.
Yeah. Well, even if it was the original 360, I was a launch day purchaser with that, and it had overheating problems.
Yes.
So
Rob played it, but I played it a lot when he wasn't there.
Well, that's with my 360, the original 360, the launch 360. I played it a lot, and those things got hot, and it was out actually like this, sitting out because my cousin didn't have anything special. We only had
those OG launch 360s. They didn't have a good fan, and also like they had really shoddy like the boards would warp, but the soldering for the graphics card would get so hot that it would detach the graphics card from it, and you would have issues. That was the old red ring. Well, his system finally red ringed, and we would get it to work a little bit, and it would run for a while, maybe a couple days.
Yep.
And then because we tried the towel trick, I even opened up that thing and I realized how crappy and shitty quality
it was bad.
The inside of the original 360 was.
Mine got the thermal so hot that it pulled the chip completely off.
Yeah.
Everything completely came off.
Yeah,
like the board, my board was, it was bad.
Yeah, that's what happened to his. I actually opened it up because obviously he bought it secondhand. There was no warranty on it. I was looking at getting one, and I'm like, I actually went and did my research, and it says that if you buy an Elite, the Elites, the new Elites, it was still the older design style, the original Xbox 360 design style, but they said starting with, it was the Halo whatever it was.
Halo Reach?
It was either a Halo Reach one or the Halo 3 one was the first one that used, it was a different style of soldering.
I want to say it was the Reach.
I'm
not sure.
I can't remember because by this point it was 2009, and so the system had been out for 4 years. So they said that it was the same design, but you're looking at a new flaw. Like they fixed the flaw within the soldering. So I was looking at the Elite. I think mine was like 120 gig or 160 gig. It was one of those.
That's where they implemented the new hard drives.
No, this was still the OG hard drive.
The old brick.
Yep. Yeah, no, this is the I bought the goddamn thing, and then the next year they launched the Slim.
Yeah.
I was like, you sons of bitches. But I wanted to play Mass Effect. I wanted to get ready because this was in the spring. I just got my happy anniversary thing for the Best Buy card the other day, which reminded me that's the day that I got the card was the day I got my system.
Right.
And because Mass Effect 2 was coming out, then it was supposed to be like that fall, but it got pushed back to January. But I wanted to get ready and I wanted to have a system in place because at the time, Mass Effect was exclusive to Xbox, and
That you or me? Never mind.
Yep, that's me.
Okay.
Message from the wife. Thanks for throwing me off, honey. Well, and that system never broke. It never red ringed. It did me well. The only thing that I can say against it is that it was starting after a couple of years. It was running loud.
Yeah.
And that probably is just dust buildup because my PS4 does that. I actually think that would help my PS4 probably if I opened it up and cleaned it. However, the wife has said, I'm not comfortable with you doing that unless we get another one. That way, if you fuck it up, no harm, no foul. Because at least one system can be the bedroom or the game room PS4, and we can have one for the living room. I am now torn. What do I do? I know I'm going to get a terabyte hard drive. There is no rhyme or reason for me to not.
Yeah.
If I'm going to get another system, it's going to be that. My only thing is I don't have 4K. Okay. So I can get a Slim and go that route and be a little cheaper with it.
Right. But what if?
There's a God of War Pro Edition. Have you seen it?
Yes.
It comes with a system and a controller that's specially designed with the Norse god stuff and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't look. It's not my favorite like custom system design. Looks pretty cool though.
Right.
And it comes with a physical copy of the game. How many system bundles come with a physical copy of the game? None anymore.
None anymore.
My Mario Odyssey came with a digital. My Advanced Warfare Xbox One terabyte came with a digital copy.
Yep.
Trust me, I've actually looked into buying a physical copy of that game. I don't give a two shits about it. I like the design of the console. That was it.
Right.
That it came with a terabyte. And that was the first system that came with a terabyte, if I remember correctly. That version. I thought about getting one just so I could say, hey, I've got a physical copy of it. That way I don't have to, that's just me. Eventually I'll get a physical.
Wait a little longer. It'll be like $10.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, I'm in no hurry to get it. No, trust me. I'm gonna wait till I can get that as cheap at a garage sale for 25 cents. I have no hurry to get that damn thing. However's, that's just kind of where I'm at. I'm not ready to do it yet. Trust me, I'm tempted to pick one up today. But I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I said I'm not
unless
gonna do
they have a really good sale.
Not gonna do it. I'm not. Again, I'm gonna be the old Dana Carvey when he would do the George H.W. Bush. I said I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it.
Not gonna do it.
So, but I do have some pickups that aren't here yet. I will talk about it and I'll tell the story. So I've started to implement talking about other things that I collect into the show because I'm not collecting games as much. Yay! High five!
No, you don't get a high five for that. You get a low five.
When Wyatt does he says high five, and then he does this. Put your hand up. He goes, too slow. Like
he doesn't get the concept. But
I mean, he gives you a slow high five,
and then says too slow.
Oh man! All right, so guys, I'm starting to collect music vinyl. I'm getting into that. My game collections, I'm pretty happy with it. There's some stuff that I want, but a lot of that stuff is now too expensive. I'm happy with most of my collection. When I go out, I'm like, there's a few things.
He's teasing the cat because she teases him when he's sleeping.
damn animals. Yeah, there's a few things that I want. There's a few I want to get the physical copy of the Uncharted DLC, but I'm not ready to pay that much for it. No offense, guys, but I'm just like I'm a cheap ass collector. Part of me wants to pick up the remastering of the Arkham games. I'm sitting there and I shake my head at it every time I see it, and then I walk away. If I can get that for like $10, I'll buy it.
Right.
I already know I will. I kind of want to get the FF12 remaster because it looks fantastic. But I just shake my head at it and walk away, knowing that if it gets cheap enough, I'm gonna buy it. Just like
FF12.
Yeah, they did a remastering for the PS4 of the Final Fantasy 12.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, new graphics, and they even added some new like.
Is that the? Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to give that game another shot.
Called the Zodiac Age.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yep. I kind of want to play it because it's like I think I'm past my biases, trying to get back into that, and it's it's heralded by a lot of people saying it's really underrated, and to give it another shot. So I'm like,
you got to sit through the first 40 hours though before it gets good.
Well, it also I've heard, like I've played the game. I've dove a lot into the people's complaints about the game. And like it kind of falls apart story-wise at the very last portion of it, but I've heard that it's like the characters and everything it's really fantastic. So, Final Fantasy fan, it's like maybe that's the one I'm gonna dive into. I can get the PS4 version that looks really cool. But music-wise, so I've been bringing some records and I'm kind of collecting that. And I told myself, I'm not doing this.
Mm-hmm.
There are 3 records. As I've told people, okay, so I'm getting full collections for Metallica and my favorite band, Iced Earth. I talked to the dude in Iced Earth, and he said, hey, reissues for that SPV stuff. If you guys know what that is, it's there are 3 records for their catalog that got released on the label SPV. The Century Media stuff is being reissued. The older stuff was. One of those has not been. So I actually paid the money and got that one for about $38. My goal, Mike, is to not pay more than $40 for a vinyl. Bless you.
Thank you. Allergies and stuff.
Allergies. There you go. It's fine. Pay no attention.
Sorry, guys.
Pay no attention to this dude. He's over here and he's doing his thing. Thankfully, we got these new mics and it doesn't really pick up that stuff as much, especially when I'm talking over it, which is what I'm trying to do right now.
Yes.
So I told myself $40 is my limit for a vinyl, unless it's a special thing like the art book.
Right. Yeah.
So that's my limit. If I see something and I might go play with the beard.
Maybe.
So I believe it was Friday night. No, Wednesday night. Wednesday night, Kate went and hung out with Gretchen and helped her do strip some diapers, whatever, mom stuff.
Right.
When they went and hung out, they got some food, and I'm sitting there home alone with the kid. I picked up Spider-Man: Homecoming, and I said, "Hey, buddy, guess what we're gonna watch tonight? What's this?" He goes, "It's Spider-Man," and then so he got excited. So it's like, "All right, we're gonna sit back. We're gonna watch Spider-Man." And I'm sitting there watching that, and I open up my Discogs app. Which, guys, heads up, if you add stuff to your want list, it sends you an email in the app or a message in the app saying, "Hey, guess what? New thing available on the marketplace." I'm like, and I did it for some ones that I am really looking for.
Right.
Especially for for those. Even though they're getting re-released, I'm like, they're going to be available for $25 eventually, brand new. Same dude put up 2 of those SPV ones.
And you're like,
And I looked at they're in euros. The dude's from Germany, so it's in euro. I did the little calculation, plus this much shipping, and I'm just like,
The bug bites again.
So Mitch is the wife. So, hey, honey, there's this thing. It's this much. And I told her this. You can tell me no. I'm telling her, talk me out of this. because right now I don't have the willpower to do so. I am like being pulled
Right.
over here down the rabbit hole, and I'm telling her, woman up, tell me no, and I'll listen. Like, and she, what did she say to me? Anything you want, baby.
But that's what mine does. The same thing. You work hard. Buy what you want.
I know it's a trap. Okay, look, I'm a good hubby. At least I'd like to think I am. I do everything in my power to go above and beyond to make sure she's happy.
Right.
Whether or not it's whatever she wants to buy, doing my part around the house, dishes, cleaning, help being a good dad, coming home, telling her, go, leave, go hang out with your friends.
Right.
Even though part of me says, I missed you all day, I want to see you, go, because I know she needs her time away from the kid.
Right.
Sanity time. That's kind of what I think of it as. That's kind of what this is right now for me, even though it's like sometimes it's like I want to do stuff that isn't podcasting.
Yes.
Because it is still work, even though it's fun. I love doing it. It is an escape. It's awesome. So I added it to my cart. I bought it. And I was waiting impatiently for him to send me an invoice with the shipping, because he basically, the way this dude had it set up is that he had stuff set up right, but he was going to have to calculate the shipping to go to worldwide, even though he had a standard setup. So I got a message at 4:18 in the morning, because time difference.
Yeah.
Germany, he's over there like probably having lunch or something like that, and he's like, hey, in fact, I'm just gonna read the messages right here on the air.
It's more like din din. That time.
Replying to the wife.
No,
So,
eat lunch. Yeah, eat lunch.
all right, so we're gonna go all the way down. He goes, hey, Brandon. Okay, paraphrasing. He didn't say that. He said, dear Brandon. He was very.
Yeah.
Dude's name is Chef. Shout out to Chef. Thank you very much for your purchase. I am, however, a bit puzzled with the shipping. Blame it on the quality of the vinyl, or the quite elaborate sleeves. It's not quite possible to keep the total weight under 1,000 grams. So I'll have to find out the cheapest shipping option. And, damn you, I'm recording. Wife sent me another message. Throw me off, lady. Throw me off. If you have experience in dealing with this matter, maybe having received shipping from Germany, let me know. Regards, Chef. So I said, then he actually sent me another message, which I didn't see, because I was replying back to him. He gave me like prices for shipping, and I said it's my first purchase from another country. This is like I've made 2 purchases from Discogs. One was that one that I said was like about near $40, $38. The reason why I really did that though is because he had a sealed copy of the live album that they did for. Stop it! Stop. Wife sending me fucking messages. Throw me off. So they had one of the. He had it sealed. That album normally goes for like 40 to 50, $22. Sealed.
Right.
Combined shipping. Set me up.
Right.
I will pay the 38 for that other one at that point. It is used, not perfect. Only been played once or twice.
Right.
I played it. I got a boner. I love that. That's one of my favorite fucking albums of all time. How can you say no? So, I'm telling him, hey, it's first one for another country, pretty new to Discogs so far. Had good experiences. I'll defer to your judgment. I'm very interested in buying these for this price. Hopefully the shipping isn't too much. And I kind of said what my work schedule was in case I didn't get back to him. Because, this was like I sent it at 4:30 in the morning. Because I'm going to work. He goes, unfortunately, I can't send it for this price that I had on my thing because the information given to me by German posts, it doesn't work worldwide, work out like that worldwide. He obviously talked to the wrong person. He goes, I'll have to alter the shipping information on all my offers. It's a real shame because even when packed tightly and efficiently, both LPs add up to about 1,100 grams. Sorry about the nuisance. If you would like to cancel the deal because of the shipping costs, I understand. And I said, Totally understand about the shipping costs, and I'm still interested as long as it is too crazy. Just get back to me the total of what it would be, and we'll see, if it works out my budget. Greatly appreciate the understanding if I got to back out if it's too much. And then he goes, cheapest that I can do is unregistered, uninsured. He goes, if your local postmen are trustworthy, this should work out. €58.90, and that he goes.
Is that the total price or just the shipping price?
No, total.
Total price. Okay.
That's for both records shipped. And he goes, registered shipping split between the two letters, total price would be $64.90. That added up to being $78. But what did I say?
Right.
40. That's just under 80.
Right.
So I said, so I told him, hey, here he goes again. We're going to change your name to Fawcett.
Yeah.
Allergies. Are you allergic to one of your animals?
No.
Is it just outside?
It's just, I basically have allergies year round.
Oh, I see.
It never goes away for me.
I see.
So now we're starting to, like, the very beginning of allergy season, it's not really the beginning, but it's starting to go into that, and it just...
I've noticed that since I've been to your house, my nose is itched like crazy. So I wonder if it's this pet dander. Maybe it's more pet dander than I'm used to. Then again, I also made out with your dog while we were watching the Nintendo Direct. And I told him, hey, buddy, as long as, since it's my first order overseas, I'm definitely going to do the registered insured shipping. It comes all right on my end, so we can do that. He goes, excellent. I'll deduct a bit from the total price so the burden is shared. He set the price total to $60 or €60. In dollars, that's like $73.
Right.
So just over 35 a piece.
That's not bad.
So what I got, guys? He goes, also, by the way, shipping price will allow me to put in another 2 records in. As I lived near Dortmund, where Centra Media, the former record company, were for Iced Earth, because I got 2 Iced Earth records, I'd be able to pick up. I could pick up Iced Earth related releases from their shop in case you're still on the hunt, and I believe they have good prices, and he can throw them in.
Son of a bitch.
And he said that to me at 5:20. I'm on my way to work. I pull into the parking lot, see that, and I'm like, oh my god, I ain't got time for this. I gotta go work. And I said, well, that sounds tempting. I said, thanks a lot for the shipping price. I said, well, that sounds tempting. I'm only a few away from a complete LP collection.
Right.
And I said, thanks again for offering. And I paid him right there in the parking lot.
Right.
What I got, guys, were Framing Armageddon, Something Wicked Part 1, Crucible Man, Something Wicked Part 2. Crucible was €22, and Framing was 26. They're both listed media. The actual records and the sleeves are listed at Very Good Plus, which is like right under near mint.
Right.
What he said the descriptions say that he played them once, put them back in the sleeves, put them in plastic, put them on a shelf. So it's just going to have normal shelfware.
Right. You're good with that.
Yeah, and I'm really freaking good with it. Because, he was so cool.
Right.
And, he's got other stuff on there that I want, but, step back.
Yeah. Start backpedaling.
But, yeah, dude, I'm super excited. Those 2 albums, okay, they're kind of controversial even within the Iced Earth community because John Schaefer created a storyline back in 98 called the Something Wicked story. And essentially, he made a trilogy at the end of that album, and that told the story that he wanted to tell. Now, he went in on these 2 records and expanded that 3-song story into 2 full-length albums.
Right.
The issue is that he's like, I'm doing a double album. Here we go. And it's like, it's cool for storytelling purposes, but there are definitely tracks on here that are completely and utterly skippable because they're essentially to just help frame and set the story.
Right.
But there's some killer tracks on both those records. The second record, the second half of the story, this is absolutely crazy because Framing Armageddon was the first album that came out since I got into the band. I got into the band right at the end of 04, early 05. And The Glorious Burden came out in January of 04, so almost a full year. I didn't know that at the time, but then once I got educated and found out the stuff, and it's like when the new album in 07 came out, I went and picked that up day fucking one. It came out September 11th, 2007. I was working at Subaru in bumper shop, Camry.
Oh, yeah.
And I ran to my fucking car. I never walked out of that place so fast in my life. Probably I did to get Mass Effects, but be that as it may, I ran out of that damn place, sped all the way to Best Buy, ran inside, got my copy, paid for it, went out to my car. I locked my keys in my car.
Because you're in such a rush.
Caitlin was at work. Rob was at work.
Nobody with a spare key.
I could have walked back to the apartment. I was thinking about it. Thankfully, Kate got off early. I only had to wait 4 hours. I walked around the mall, used the bathroom at the mall, looked at the artwork, read the lyrics. Couldn't listen to it. I didn't have a seat. Man, it was terrible. It was one of the worst. It was one of the worst days in a long time of my life.
Stare at it.
All I could do was look at the damn thing, and went home, played it. The vocalist for the album is Tim Ripper Owens. He was in Judas Priest.
Yep.
Replaced Rob Halford. Side note, guys, if you're looking to check out some new music, check out the new Priest album. It's fucking solid. I am not necessarily surprised, but like I was jamming to it the last night, and then on the way here today, so far every track has been, yeah, hell yeah, fucking groovy, riffy. It's not Painkiller, but it's like fucking Return to Form,
right?
Heavy metal. All right, so back to the story. Now for the second album, it came out the next year, almost 1 year later. I didn't lock my keys in the car this time. I made sure. I picked up that, I believe, was the same day. Me and Nate, my co-host here and co-founder of the network, of the Journey Comics Network, he ordered the album on a website, and he got a signed copy of a. I can't remember if we both got that or not, because. The booklet was signed by John. I think we both got it. So either I got the signed booklet and he got the CD, or we both just ordered it that way. Because I do remember going in 08 and picking up like Death Magnetic, Mitch Hedberg CD, stuff like that. But these albums to me, because the second album had Matt Barlow, he was the lead singer for Eister for a long time, and one of my favorite vocalists of all time, not just in Eister. He does other stuff. Very awesome vocalist. It was him coming back in, and even though some of these tracks on the second album, I think the hype was too much, because you have like this legendary singer coming back in. It's like, oh, what's this gonna be? And it's like some of the tracks were just kind of like lackluster, but then again, it's like even the songs that are lackluster, he's badass on them.
Right.
So you're like listening to it just for that, and then of course. The last song on the album is probably one of his best vocal performance ever in the band. I listened to it and it gives me chills. I'm like my hair like raises up. I get tears in my eyes because the crescendo. Because once you are travel along into it and you're into the music and you've been listening to it for a little while, and then that song hits and it's like, yeah, all right. The middle of that song has like this crescendo where he goes to another level, and especially when you're into the story and you're into his vocals, it's awesome. So I'm very excited to get these on vinyl. I don't know when they're coming. When I tried to track the shipping, it just tells me
it's somewhere.
It has to translate from German to English, and I'm a little confused on where stuff is. So it's coming. I'm also looking at an eBay auction. Of course, by the time you guys hear this, it'll be over, and I may have bought it. So let's talk about this eBay auction, shall we? It's another Iced Earth record.
Surprise.
It's Alive in Athens on vinyl. It's a collector's box, Mike. It's a box. Okay? This has never been played. And it has a poster, and then all the discs are picture discs with different album covers. And it's a 5-disc LP. It has, as of...
The question is, for how much?
0 bids for $40 starting point. Ends in 1 day, 5 hours.
Does he have a reserve?
It doesn't say anything about a reserve on it. So let's go over here to Discogs, because you know what? You can look up prices on Discogs. Did you know that?
I did.
Okay.
I did know that.
Because I'm going to look this up. The next episode, I may have an update on this, and I'm either going to have bought it for a really good price or not. Because the 5 LP picture disc album, the mid-range, the average sale price is $106. The highest that's sold on Discogs is $135.
Shoo.
And I can try and get that for like $50. Even if I get it for $60.
Hopefully.
I'm hoping. It doesn't say anything about a reserve. There's one person watching it. I haven't actually said that I'm watching it, so that way I don't want anybody else to know that there's someone else watching it too. That way I can try and snipe it. Because I just keep refreshing it.
But they do have reserve the right to forfeit the sale.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
If it's not for what they wanted.
No, but I'm gonna try and get it. I'm trying. I want it because now that I see it, and it's like, yeah, nobody's bidding on it, and it's like, I had no intentions of buying that because it's like, yeah, no, I'll wait till like the 180 gram one comes out on like the black vinyl. It sounds better,
right?
Nah, then I see that for $40, and I'm like, get that for half off. All right. I have entered the rabbit hole.
Yes, you have.
I'm not buying Glorious or Tribute to the Gods for $100, though. I'm not doing it.
As of right now.
No, I'm not doing it. I won't do it. If I can get them for a good price, sure, okay. Just like the framing and stuff like that, all right, it equals out. All right, fine, I'll do it. No, I'm not spending $80 to $100 for Glorious Burden. I can't do that.
Right.
I like the album a lot. I don't like it for $80. I'll wait for that to get reprinted, get put out.
Yeah.
But if I can get that for $40, I might do it. Guys, Nintendo Direct was just a few days ago. Of course, as you're listening to this, it's been like a week. So Mike watched it. I watched it this morning as well, and actually watched most of it again with Mike. Not a lot of stuff here was like all that surprising.
It really goes back to the Nintendo style where they just put out random stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like random, weird, odd games. That's cool and all, but there was mentions of some big titles.
Weird, some people are actually complaining. It's like, oh, we're getting our ports. It's like, well, it's kind of coming in like a year late or a couple years late into this cycle. And I tell you what, guys, the reason why you guys are getting ports is because they want to see how much do people even care about our titles over here.
Right.
This is them, dipping their foot in the water. South Park, Fractured But Whole. Okay, they don't have to bring that game over.
Right.
But this is Ubisoft going, see how it sells, and if it sells well, maybe we'll put the other one over here, and maybe we'll get a new IP over here. Maybe a newer game we're putting over here. Maybe we'll put it over here on the Switch. It's that because the Dark Souls thing is from software going. Maybe. Let's see how it goes.
The good thing is it's not as difficult to transfer over.
I mean, yeah.
And that helps a lot because whenever you're not putting a whole lot of resources into it, if you do sell 500,000 copies or something, it's like, that's still made our money.
It's more profit.
Exactly.
More
profit. So I see where they're at on that standpoint.
In fact, I even saw where the people who ported Skyrim to the Switch, which I've been playing Skyrim on the Switch. It's fucking awesome.
Right.
It's still Skyrim. It's still buggy, but if anybody who's a fan of Skyrim or Bethesda, you've pretty much resigned yourself to their games being buggy as shit.
I mean, you think about the vastness of each environment
Mhm.
and to make that smooth and no
Yeah.
bugs. Good
Oh, yeah.
luck.
I've had a few little small hiccups where stuff didn't render in right, but
Stuff randomly falling out of the sky. You haven't had that yet?
I haven't had that yet.
Yeah, and on the original, it just randomly was sitting there and there, cow fall out of the sky. Like, huh, cool. All right, and you just keep going.
Weird weather today.
Weird bit of the day.
Yeah, no. So the guys that did that have said that they have approached Capcom, saying we want to port Monster Hunter World to the Switch.
That'd be interesting.
So I don't know if they're going to take them up on that,
I don't know how I feel about that.
but we'll see. We'll definitely see. I personally, I want to see that that little chibi-ized version of FF15 go over there.
Yeah.
I want to see that go over to the Switch because I think it might actually have a life there, either where you can play it with the tap screen or you could play it with some buttons, and where you get the whole story.
Yeah.
In fact, you know what? I've actually I had a nice long talk with our friend Matt Klaus, and he was talking about like how the PC version, they've been making a lot of changes. They've been adding cutscenes. They've been doing so many things to where you can get the whole story, and their DLC plans for FF15 are going well into 2019.
Wow.
Basically, I guess what it was is that when they're making 15, they said we want to kind of make a thing where we release this game in like different chapters. It's like you get this part, and then you get this part, and then this part. But they wanted the game chapters to be big, like a full-size game. But unfortunately, when they were getting down to it, it just wasn't going to be that. So then they decided to go, all right, let's scale it back, bring it back in. And then when they released the game, they always intended to try, expand it and do more stuff. But when they realized that the sales were kind of slacking off, and the criticisms that people had about the story, and how it doesn't flow, and there's more. You have to go watch a movie.
It's fragmented.
Yes. So their goal was, you know what? Scrap the other stuff that we wanted to expand, and let's focus on I'm basically finishing this and making this. By the time we're done, a more cohesive thing.
Right.
So that is awesome that they listened. But I want that chibi-ized version for the Switch. What other ports did they say? Okay, so we're getting...
Are we going to wait for the big one?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Because I got stuff to say about that.
There's some ports from the 3DS.
Yeah, we're getting a remake of Luigi's Mansion.
Luigi's Mansion.
So you can have both Luigi's Mansions on like the 3DS. That's kind of cool.
That's neat.
I mean, Luigi's Mansion is awesome. So
Okami
HD is coming to the Switch. Of course, that came out originally on the PS2, and then it got a Wii release, and then eventually it did come back to PS3, PS4. So I mean, it's cool. I really like the art style in that game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing to like say, oh my god, that game's coming to the Switch. But if you never played it before, good chance to pick it up. We are getting Captain Toad, Treasure Tracker, another Wii U title. I swear they're going to bring every single Nintendo Wii U game over.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, the Wii U just did not do hardly anything.
No. What I'm thinking is that they're waiting on Mario Maker because they have a 3DS version out.
Mm-hmm.
And if that ever gets to a point where they're going to like start scaling back to 3DS, that's where we get Mario Maker.
Yeah.
For the Switch, I guarantee you, because there's no reason not to with the touchscreen and everything.
Right.
Man, I'm trying to think of what else.
And you could still use the Joy-Cons.
Yes.
So it'd be neat.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. I loved Mario Maker. That was like a highlight of the Wii U for me.
Right.
But like was Mario Maker.
We gotta. I mean, we're still on remakes. Because there's a couple other ones, but they're just very. I don't think there is actually. I think we've about covered them all.
I mean, well, okay, so they're doing like a new Mario Tennis, and they go in. They said before they're going to focus a lot on Mario Tennis, and I've never been a huge Mario Tennis dude, but like I was sort of impressed with all the different. It's not just a tennis game; it's like a tennis game with all these different over-the-top things,
right?
To make it fun. It really seems like the game would be fun as shit to play. Not for $60.
Yeah, not for 60.
But I mean, hell yeah! If someone's like, "Hey man, I got this game on the marketplace for $20," maybe because like even in GTA 5, I played a lot of tennis in that game. because it's just something to do.
Right.
And then I'm one of those guys that like if I am entertained by something, I will sit there and do it for hours.
Right.
So next thing here I am, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go in there, and I did this on Red Dead 2 with the poker. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna do these missions. I'm gonna advance the story. And then I just played poker for hours, and then I just played tennis for hours. So we got animals trying to get into other people's rooms.
Yep. That's normal.
Anyhow, oh man, so we have they're doing like an arms tournament. So there's that thing.
They announced the Splatoon.
Yeah, Splatoon thing. Octopath Traveler
Has a date.
It has a release date of we got a lot of release dates.
We did.
Hyrule Warriors is in May. Of course, they also they have some add-on stuff for Kirby that's coming out. Should be out this week as you guys are hearing this. It might be out tomorrow if you guys listen to this day one. Yeah, we got some release dates. Octopath Traveler, they showed some more jobs, showed some more stuff that you can do in that game.
They showed some more characters.
Yes, exactly.
And then they also showed the dual job.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to do a dual job system, which...
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's...
And, of course, the big one, of course, they had the big Splatoon DLC, and that bled into...
Which is story.
Yes, it
is story.
Story DLC, which is different. Smash Brothers.
The one we've been predicting.
Now, here's the thing. I just read something the other day. There's conjecture that this is a brand new Smash Brothers game. It's not a port.
You think so? That's soon? That's very surprising.
It is soon, but here's the thing. I have no doubt that it has been in development since the other one was released.
Right.
They went right to work on another one. There was no more support and more DLC for the other one. That's all done for the Wii U, because Wii U is dead. And then you have the 3DS version. That one's still alive and going. I don't know how well the community is.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Now, there is conjecture that this is going to be a brand new Smash game, a new entry entirely, not just a port of the old one. So,
we shall see.
Yeah, I can definitely see it because it's been quite a few years since the last one. It doesn't seem like it, but it has.
It's been about 3, right?
3. It'll be 3, and by the time that comes out, see that Smash Brothers came out in 2015.
Yes.
What was that? 14.
I think you're right.
I'll look it up real quick. That sounded juicy.
It was. Oh, I hate allergy season. It's murder, literally.
It's all getting into your system. No, yeah, they came out 14. So by the time this releases, because they said the new Smash Brothers said 2018, so it would have been 4 years.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's it doesn't seem like it because of how long they supported it,
right?
Like with DLCs and new characters, and they kept it going.
Then they threw it on the 3DS, and
well, it actually simultaneously released.
Yeah, that's right.
So
that's new.
That was awesome that they did that.
It's cool.
Because you could I want to say you could even connect the two games together and do all that kind of stuff. That was really cool.
It was neat.
But no, we said that they needed a big game for this year for the fall.
There it is.
That's it. Because they already played the Zelda card. They already played the Mario card. They're playing the Metroid card, but it's a little bit different because it's being developed by somebody else.
Right.
And Metroid, as much as I like Metroid, it's not Zelda. It's not Mario. It's not going to move those numbers unless you get another a big hit like you did with the original Prime, where it was it came out and people were like, oh, another Metroid. And they're like, oh, wait, this is different. And it set it off on a whole new thing.
It did.
So
I'm really anxious to see how they do it.
Same.
Because it's always had a lock-on system with Prime. I wonder if they're going to go more open.
Well, because of how much and how farther FPSs have gone and developed.
It might be able to pull that in this time.
Right. So, we'll definitely see. But because we don't know for sure if Metroid's releasing this year. There have been rumors, but since
they threw a date.
I don't...
not a date, but a year.
I don't remember.
I thought it was late 2018.
It's quite possible.
Let's find out.
But Nintendo, I guarantee you Smash Brothers is going to come out this year, and that we'll see more at E3.
Well, yeah.
But Detective Pikachu's coming out.
Yes.
That's a weird little.
That's weird.
That's weird, but some people are going to be into that. I'm not sure if I will be. But, I mean, we do have E3 coming around the corner, and that's a big thing coming around because there's some rumors about new systems possibly getting announced, new games getting announced. And, Mike, I got a list.
We believe that Nintendo's biggest announcement will be Prime, like really Prime 4 or whatever they're going to end up calling it.
Like at E3?
At E3, we're going to get a big chunk of information, which I'm not opposed to at all.
All right, so we have a list of things that are going to be announced.
Yes.
We have stuff that's already confirmed and stuff that's rumored. So Bethesda's already said, hey, we're having another press conference this year. That's 3 years in a row.
Yeah, that means
We're getting something.
we're getting scrolls.
We are getting something.
They're gonna officially release that Scrolls is being worked on. Elder Scrolls game.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe they'll announce another entry into Fallout, like New Vegas thing, where they're not developing it, but they're.
I think that'll be there too, but I think that
I would love a New Vegas too.
I'm thinking that well, they already said that they were.
That's been heavily rumored.
Yeah.
And Obsidian has said we'll do it, and they're like, but they have not.
Nothing's hard. Nothing's concrete yet.
No.
But I think that we'll see that, and we'll be like, oh, and then
they'll hit the
Elder Scrolls and be like, boom, and then they show gameplay, and my wife's gonna flip the.
Do you think they're actually gonna do their Elder Scrolls right now, or do you think they're working on something else?
I think that they'll do another Scrolls. I really do because
there's that rumor that they got tapped to do a Game of Thrones game.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, them working on a Game of Thrones game right now, and getting that done for release into late fiscal, like for example, because you know how Bethesda did Fallout.
Yeah.
Imagine if they said, check out this awesome game, and you see it and you go, oh my God, Bethesda Elder Scrolls Fallout style game in the Game of Thrones world.
Yep.
In Westeros, you would fucking flip out. I would flip out.
Oh yeah, it's coming out in 3 months.
Well, they could do that, or they could say, guess what, guys? March. Because what is March? March is the last month of the fiscal year, and it's 1 month before the debut of the last season of Game of Thrones.
That'd be a good idea.
Boom.
My thing is that here's the thing. If they do this, are they going to have the real ending? Or is it going to be like you get to the point and it's like, oh, shit.
Well,
and then you throw DLC after the finale and say, there you go.
No, well, I wouldn't have the game be anything about the story of the show.
Yeah.
I would have you be a character in Westeros.
And you get to choose
and you could kind of go along, and maybe I would set it before, like the show, because then you can try and tap these characters that are already in there and that you already know. You could have Ned Stark in Winterfell. You could have King Baratheon, and you can have and you can see the cracks of everything starting to form, and maybe they can actually weave your character into storylines potentially with the whole death of Jon Arryn.
Yeah,
which sort of sets up everything, but because that way it would allow you to craft a Westeros, and you have these characters and you have these places on the maps and everything, but you can really craft the world right before everything goes to shit.
I think one of the best things that they could do, and this is just me being a Game of Thrones fan, is that you play each character. It's not you make a character and you kind of form the world. It's you're Ned Stark, and you do Ned Stark, and then chopping block, move to the next character, chopping block, move to the next character. Constantly switching the perspective of the story is what I feel would be the route that they would take, because that's the show. I mean, that's literally almost taking the show piece by piece, but
right. It's got to capture. In some respects, it's got to capture Game of Thrones.
Right, and I think that would really capture that, because you're like, you personally, because you've already watched the show, know what's going on. But somebody's just starting the game, you play like, oh, my character's dead, and then they switch to somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
and then like Rob, they switch to Rob, and then the stuff goes with Rob,
And then you
and
start getting
you hit
attached
the
to him,
red-
and you're like, yes, he's gonna do this, and then
a red wedding hits.
and then you're like, ah, and then they go to season 4, and then they introduce a new character, Oberyn.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, okay, this guy, oh yeah, okay, he's pretty cool, and then you're like, you're jumping out of your chair, you're rooting for him, fighting the mountain. You're like, yes, this guy's a badass.
Dead.
And you're like, ah. Yeah, no, the game definitely has to capture that, but we got other stuff that's been officially announced.
Officially.
The first game that was officially announced to be at E3 this year is The Last of Us Part 2.
Yee. It's about time.
We're seeing gameplay.
Yes, it's about time.
When they did The Last of Us, the first one, they had this big long gameplay tech demo, and it was the scene that when they go into the hotel. And
Yeah.
And you saw a part of it played, and you actually got to see how the gameplay was. I think we're seeing gameplay, and we're going to get a release window.
Yeah.
For the game, I have no doubt this game's going to get delayed. 100%.
I'm okay with that.
I am completely okay with it.
Make it right.
Yes, just like they did with the first one. It got delayed like 2 times, almost 3. And I think if they did it the last time, it was like, it's a few weeks.
Right.
Because I thought it was going to get like released in May, and it got released right in the middle of June. I'm sorry, in June, and right near the end, which was okay with me because I was going on shutdown.
Right.
So all I did that first weekend was play that fucking game and get enamored. The next one, Anthem.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, that's got to come.
Battlefield 2008 title TBA. Okay.
Yeah.
I have no doubt that the new Call of Duty is going to be there. That's going to be Black Ops 4. They announced that.
Yep.
Okay. They had just announced, and they said this is going to be there, and they just announced that it is a thing. The Division 2 is going to be there.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
Now we have the Rumor Mill, which one of those games I said is on the Rumor Mill, but it's going to be there. We're just going to run down. We have a short list here. Borderlands 3.
Yeah, I can see that.
Black Ops 4, I already said that one.
Yeah.
Crackdown 3, that's the Xbox One thing. I don't know where Crackdown 3 is. I don't know if they're still doing it. Dude, Xbox. Where's the? Wait, no, okay, and I'm not either. But here's the thing: is that Xbox has been like saying we're making a new exclusive, like they did with that Dragon Scale, chopped it.
Yeah.
And like Crackdown, and it's like, where's Crackdown? Shush. Hey, we got this stuff going on over here. They've just been kind of doing that, and it's like, I've heard they've been looking to acquire new studios. We heard the whole thing, the rumor. Them acquiring Valve, them acquiring EA even. And then I just heard this. They might be looking to acquire Sega. That would be crazy. Sort of a weird little full circle type thing with them.
I don't know if Sega would be their best bet. Sega's not really booming.
No, but Sega's making moves. Sega is like right now they are focused on recovering their brand. And they did that by releasing a badass Sonic game. They're focusing on Atlas and their personas. And like, let's put out some awesome games.
Right.
And so Sega's in rebuild mode.
It is.
And so far they made some good moves.
I think if Xbox or Microsoft did purchase them, I think we could see some new big or like older RPGs come back.
Potentially, I would love to see a new Phantasy Star.
I would love. It's a terrible game.
The idea is if they bought Sega, then Persona would be exclusive to Xbox.
Yeah,
which they haven't released one over there. They did do on the 360. They did like the fighting game that got released over there. The next one that's rumored. In fact, I was talking to our buddy Klaus. He said they've already said they're going to be there. CD Projekt Red's new game. Of course, they're the guys that have made the Witcher games.
Yeah,
and they're stepping away and they're not doing the Witcher right now. And they're like, we're doing something else entirely. It's called Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah. And
what we've seen of it looks like Blade Runner. It looks like this dystopian future type. I'm all on board for that. I love that shit. So if it's supposed to be coming out for PC, Xbox One, and PS4. So if they're going to be there, which they weren't there last year, that means they're showing it off.
Something's coming.
Days Gone, PS4. That's that new zombie game.
Yeah.
That got delayed, by the way, to 2019. So they'll probably show something from it.
But so the thing is like last year we got gameplay.
Exactly.
We
so
got heavy gameplay.
yeah. So like what are they going to show of it that's going to be new and
Right.
Because they might not show too much of it because they're probably going to be showing The Last of Us and they don't want to like horror fighting dead people type things. So. FF7 remake.
But I don't think so. I'm gonna go with the FF7 fanboy in me is like, release it. I want to see more. Give me something. But the Square Enix guy in me says they'll probably focus on 15.
Well, they're probably going to do stuff for that, but the other one, the one that's closer, the one that we've seen more of, is Kingdom Hearts.
Yep.
So
they don't want to overshadow everything.
No, but I think you've got to show something because it's been a long time. I think if you focus on Kingdom Hearts and just sprinkle a little bit, I think it'll make people happy. If you say, "Hey guys, guess what?" Then you talk about Kingdom Hearts. Or in fact, I would just do the FF7 thing first, and maybe you don't give a release window. Maybe you just give a year.
I don't even give that at this point. I think that
it all depends on how far they are. But for Kingdom Hearts, it's obviously not coming out this year. So it's obviously I just don't see it. I think it's going to be next year. I think it's getting close. I think I've seen enough from it. I think it's getting really close.
Damn Rapunzel's hair.
I know, right? We talked about that. Kirby, the new Kirby game, of course, that's going to be out.
It'll be out
by then. So, Metroid Prime 4, you said it.
Yeah.
The new Pokemon Switch.
Yeah, that's got to be shown.
Please show it. I want to see what that looks like. I want to see if they're going to go straight into a full-blown 3D realm world Pokemon, or if they're going to try and do like a
open world.
Well, there's the open world thing, but I want to see what they're going to do with the style. Is it going to be a full-blown 3D running around world of Pokemon, or is it going to be kind of like a mixture where it's like still old-school RPG style, or how's it going to look?
I think that they'll stick to old-school style.
I'm definitely intrigued. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 3.
Yeah, okay.
Project Octopath Traveler, of course, that's coming. That'll be coming out right around the corner, so they're definitely going to showcase that and say this is coming out.
And Nintendo Direct already showed a little bit of that.
Exactly, but they'll definitely focus on that to try and plug that more.
Right.
Shenmue 3, I would hope so because it's been a long time coming since they announced it. I know that it's supposed to be coming out either this year or next by this point. So, the new Spider-Man game for PS4.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm so excited for that game.
It looks fantastic.
Of course, like we saw the original reveal for it, and then we saw like the next thing, which had more gameplay in it, and I'm like, it was like the behind the scenes thing.
Yeah.
And when I bought the Spider-Man Homecoming Blu-ray, that ad was in the front of it, and I watched it again, and I'm like, I cannot wait.
Yeah.
I cannot wait because this looks like a Spider-Man game that you have always wanted to play. It's
like Spider-Man 2.
But more. It's like doing for Spider-Man what Arkham did for Batman. It's like you are the Batman. You are Spider-Man. This is it.
I'm wondering how much Peter you're gonna get.
From what I understand, it's a mixture. And of course you've got to play Spider-Man though, because that's it. Because you're Spider-Man.
Right.
But like any good, just like Batman, any good Spider-Man story is also a good Peter Parker story. And as they've said, there's a good dichotomy because there's the whole Peter Parker side and what he's doing over here, and then there's the villain, Negative Man. He has his other persona too.
I feel
that Peter knows. So
I feel like what's gonna happen. What would be really good if they did this is like you're hanging out with Mary Jane, and your senses go off, and you have a choice.
That'd be cool.
And that affects your relationship with Mary Jane, but it also affects how chaotic the city gets. Mm-hmm. That would be the icing on the cake.
Well, because that's true to life.
Yes.
Peter Parker, Spider-Man, because especially if she doesn't know, at this point, and he's just like running off and disappointing her, but at the same time, he's got to he has to try and levy that responsibility.
Yep.
So,
and the thing is like I think it'd be cool that at some point you can have a chance to reveal who you are to Mary Jane, and that would just be.
That's almost like Spider-Man Simulator right there.
Yeah,
See,
I mean that
and
would
in a
be
way-
amazing.
And in a way, it's like it's difficult to do that to that level in a game that is this like open and like
Right.
like that kind of stuff, because that's the kind of storytelling that you would see like in a Telltale game,
Right.
because that's the kind of stuff that you did with the Batman game where you had choices to make and it affected your characters.
I think that there needs to be some choices.
I agree. Tomb Raider 2018, the new third one. The rumored title is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I'm excited for it because we're getting a full-blown reboot trilogy.
Yep.
The first one was awesome, and I've said this plenty of times. The second one was amazing. It's good. It was a great game.
Yeah.
So
It's still a little pricey for me to buy secondhand.
I mean, I can't wait for you to play it because I mean, it's if you like the first one, you'll love the second one. And this one, it's out every year. WWE 2K19. Haven't bought this year. Didn't do it. I'm a good boy. The last game, Yoshi. So there's that. And here's some other stuff that's been documented by IGN. EA has announced to have a new EA Sports game, The Sims 4 and its mobile games at this year's EA Play, as well as an inside look at Anthem and the next Battlefield. Devil May Cry director Hideaki Itsuno could reveal his next game at E3. It didn't have a presence at E3 2017, but Hideaki, I can't say your name, sorry, tweeted that the development of the new project is now under climax, indicating his team will have something to reveal soon. Rumors suggest that this will be a new Devil May Cry. There was a tweet on Prey's Twitter that hints that potential Prey DLC could be announced at Bethesda's 2018 E3 showcase. So,
right,
we're still a ways out, but
the rumor mill is
man.
chugging.
It's always around this time. It's around
Yep.
February, March when people like that. That it's coming, and that is sort of like our big Super Bowl event.
It is.
We try to do what we can to cover a lot and everything, and we're definitely gonna try and bring that to you again this year. Definitely, it would be neat to be able to live stream that, but we'll see.
I think we'll be able to.
We'll definitely see.
Reasons.
It's all gonna depend on like work schedules.
Well, also, I've got the camera.
Mm-hmm.
We can live stream it and commentary
Mm-hmm.
on the PS4 now.
Yep. I need to pick up a camera that way I can do that too. So.
It'd be neat.
Yeah, I think that's about going to do it for us here today. We could do recommendations, but like I've just been playing Skyrim.
I've just been playing Monster Hunter.
There you go. There's your recommendations, I guess.
Again. Mine's again because I did it last time.
Well, I noticed. Okay, so you got this little box over here. You got the Super Nintendo box and a Dragon Ball box.
Yeah.
And I keep looking at it because I see a face. I see two eyes and a mouth.
Yeah.
And I keep looking at it. Have you ever noticed that you just look and you just start seeing faces everywhere?
Yeah.
That's like human nature, I guess. But, guys, thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of the Game Addicts Podcast. Again, as I said before, you can check us out on mediums all across the place, man. You can go to our website, GameAddictsPodcast.com. You can check us out on platforms. You take us with you on your phone if you got, iTunes. You can get the Podbean app. That's our host. You can get to go to Spotify, listen to your music, and go, I'm tired of listening to this guy sing about whatever he's singing about. I'm going to check out the podcast. You can do that too, man. You can also check us out on the video platforms, on the YouTubes, on the Twitches, and everything. We post a video up there every Thursday, 9 a.m. on the button. The podcast, the videos go up live. And please do go and check that out and share it across the board. We're on social medias. I actually posted to Twitter. Or not Twitter. I post to Twitter every time we go. But the Instagrams. I posted to the Instagrams.
Still...
You don't do shit. But
shit.
what I did, don't lower your head. I hadn't posted on Instagram since November 30th last year. Sorry, guys.
I think I am going to start streaming a little bit on the... I really don't like the screen setup whenever you stream on the PS4, but...
It is what it is.
It is what it is, and maybe when I get a new TV.
Well, guys, I said I was going to show you guys close-up pictures of the records.
Oh, yeah.
So I did. I
it
posted
looks. That's a good angle.
Yeah, that's the one that we the picture of the etching of that one vinyl from the last episode. That's the one that was on the air.
Yeah.
And so there's that, and then these are pictures I took at home of the art book vinyl of the Symphony X, and then of course of the Power Slave. So I posted that. I'm gonna try to do that anytime we have any pickups. Anytime that we have something to pick up to say that we got like something interesting, I'm gonna try and post that And
Except for my red controller.
I mean, it's just a controller.
It's just a controller.
It is a controller. I mean,
I only bought it because I needed it.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm gonna try and do that over there as well. Game Addicts Play over there on the Instagrams. We have a Facebook page. You can check us out on Twitter, Game Addicts Play. We're on Twitch at Game Addicts Play. That's going to do it.
Game Addicts Mike.
Yeah, Game Addicts Mike. Yeah, we set up your own little Twitch thing, a Game Addicts Mike. I even made a little logo for you.
You did.
So.
And yet again, that hasn't taken full effect yet because I'm still.
Yeah, feeling
especially
your way through
with the TV fault today.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, no, yeah. Man, we got to go get you set up with the new TV. So, until next time, guys, we'll be right here every Thursday for you. So until then, I've been Brando,
and I have been Mike,
and we'll see you next time, guys. Have a good one. Game on.